Here we're back to chapter 11, part 2, homework problem, and we have, in the previous video, set up our ledgers, and we took care of the first two transactions. And so we're going to do another couple of transactions, although not necessarily the ones right in the row. So we're going to skip July the 3rd. We're going to go on down to July the 5th, which is return merchandise that we had previously purchased from Tilly's back up here. And we received a credit memo on the amount for $300. Now we returned inventory back to Tilly's Toys. They had sent it to us. Maybe it's the wrong color, it's the wrong size, whatever it is, something. And those at $300 worth out of the $2,800 that we had bought, $300 worth of the stuff was not right. There's something not right. So we called Tilly's Toys and we said, okay, we have this problem. Can we return this? And they would say, yes, you can return it, and we will credit your account. They're crediting our accounts receivable on their books. It's an accounts payable on our books because we owe out to Tilly's Toys. Okay, and so, but they're going to credit their accounts receivable for this $300. We will have to pay for the shipping to ship this back. They're not giving us extra, just the $300 worth of stuff that was wrong. So here we need a journal entry, okay? Cash is not involved. They're going to decrease the amount that we owe to them with this credit memo. So when we decrease a liability like accounts payable, that's going to be a debit to accounts payable. We're receiving the fact that we owe out less to this vendor. What are we giving up? We're giving up the inventory that we had previously purchased. Now, in the periodic system that we're on in this chapter, you might say, oh, well then we originally put this $2,800 into purchases and expense account, so we should now credit this $300 on purchases. But no, we don't want to credit purchases. So instead, we have a contra expense account called purchase returns and allowances, and that's the one we'll credit. Okay, so this is on the 5th, and we said that we're going to debit accounts payable. Whenever we put accounts payable, we got to put the name of the vendor, so that's Tilly's Toys, and that was for $300. And credit, indent, and that was for purchase returns and allowances, and we're crediting that for $300. My debits equal my credits, so I go ahead and put my information. Now you would have the number of the credit memo that they sent us, but the problem didn't give it. But we can put CM for credit memo on invoice number 311. Okay, so that's our explanation, and we can go down, skip a line, and we're ready for the next transaction. We have to ask ourselves, is there anything in this transaction that needs to be posted right away? Yes, we have a vendor here that must be posted right away. So we need a debit to Tilly's Toys of $300. Posted right away. Okay, so we go to Tilly's Toys. This is the 5th. This is a debit of $300 that we're copying. And our previous balance was $2,800. We know because this is accounts payable ledger, which has a credit balance, but this balance, this 2,800 is a credit balance. So 2,800 credit, this is a debit, and whenever we have a debit and a credit, we have to subtract, so 2,800 minus 300 would be 2,500. That's how much we now owe Tilly's Toys. Where did this information come from? J16. We can also go to accounts payable. Of course, now here, yours is not going to match because I skipped that transaction on the 3rd. Okay. Again, my previous balance was credit. Now I have a debit, so I subtract. Where did this come from? J16. And we had our purchase returns and allowances. And so that's July the 5th. And that was a credit, 300 that we're copying, so the new balance is 300 credit. That came from GJ16. So here we did post this to accounts payable, which was account 201. We also posted it to Tilly's Toys, which I'm going to use the asterisk to show that I posted that there. And we posted it to purchase returns and allowances, which was account 502. Okay, I'm going to skip down to the 11th, and it shows that we issued check number 415 to Tilly's Toys for merchandise purchased on account, less the return of July the 5th, and less the 2% discount. Why the 2% discount? Because remember back up when we originally bought the stuff on the 1st, we had terms of 210 net 30. So as long as we paid by 10 days after the 1st, which is the 11th, we could take a 2% discount. Now the discount is does not include usually shipping and handling. The discount does not include other things, sales taxes, if we did have sales taxes. Discount is only on the actual amount that we purchased. And if we returned any, it's not on that either. So here we originally had 2,800, but we returned 300. So we only get a discount on the 2,500 that's left over. So we're going to take 2,500 times 0.02, which is the 2%, and that's $50. So we're going to have $50 less that we have to pay. So your best bet here is to go into your accounts payable ledger, find Tilly's Toys, find what balance we owe. We owe $2,500. Calculate out your discount, which was $50. And so we're going to make our check out to Tilly's Toys for $2,500 minus $50, so that'll be $2,450 that we're going to write the check out to for. Okay, so this is on the 11th. Okay, we are decreasing accounts payable, so that means we're debiting accounts payable. And of course, whenever we have accounts payable, we have to say who is the vendor, and that's Tilly's Toys. And we're decreasing them by the whole $2,500. If I showed that we only paid $2,450 here as a debit, then it would look like I would have a balance of $50 left. In Tilly's Toys, it would look like I owe Tilly's Toys $50. So I have to actually debit Tilly's Toys for the entire $2,500. Otherwise, it'll look like I owe them something and I don't owe them anything. So I'm going to debit them the whole $2,500. Now I'm going to credit cash for the amount of the actual check that I just wrote, which was for $24.50. Now my debits don't equal my credits. I need another $50 credit. Okay, what account is that going to go to? That's going to be a credit to purchases discounts. Okay, now my debits equal my credits, and I can say paid check number 415. Oops, sorry, 415 on invoice number 311. Okay, so now I've got my journal entry in. Now I can start posting. Okay, again, I can post accounts payable, cash, and purchases discounts. They all go in the general ledger. I can wait and post those later if I want to, or I can post them now, but the Tilly's Toys has to be posted now. Okay, so I go to Tilly's Toys. I have the 11th, and that is a debit of $2,500 that I'm copying from the journal. I have a credit of $2,500 and a debit of $2,500. Credit and debit is subtract. $2,500 minus $2,500 is 0. It says I owe Tilly's Toys nothing. Does that make sense to you? Yes, it does. I just paid them off. So, of course, my balance should show 0. If you show your balance showing $50 or something else, then you did not debit the correct number. Okay. Now, by the way, if you needed more space for Tilly's Toys on this ledger, you can put your cursor outside of that last spot, press enter, and that gives you an extra line for Tilly's Toys. Okay, where did this come from? GJ16. Okay, if you want to go ahead and do accounts payable, again, this won't match yours because we skipped some transaction. So now my accounts payable previous was $2,500 credit. Now I got a $2,500 debit. So that's now 0. Where did this come from? GJ1. Okay, and cash on the 11th, we have a credit of $24.50. We had a debit balance before of $18,500. Now we have a credit, so we're going to subtract. So that leaves us with $16,050 is our new running total balance. Where did this come from? GJ16. And we have our purchases discounts. That was on July 11th. We copied the date. We copied the amount. $50 credit. New balance, $50 credit. Where did this come from? GJ16. Okay. We go back to our journal and we posted accounts payable to account number 201, and we posted Tilly's Toys also, so we put the asterisk. We posted to the cash the credit of $24.50, and we posted to purchases discounts account 503, the $50 credit. Now, if you were going to do the next part of the assignment is to do a statement of a schedule of accounts payable. You would have your heading, name of the company, what is this, what the date is, which would be the last day of July in this case. And then you would list out all of your various vendors.